If you've ever had that overgrown garden feeling like I have now, this is the video for you. And also, I found, well, I didn't find, I'm trying a new companion planting that I think will be fabulous. So we're going to do that too. But first, I'm just going to walk through my garden as a kind of before to show you how overgrown and crowded it feels. And then I'll do the work. And I'll do a walkthrough after. So you get a before and an after. So let's go walk through my garden and see how crowded it feels and overgrown, like a jungle. But there's a cure for that. We're going to start right here, walking down the patio. Tea bush is encroaching on the walkway. Tropical sage is encroaching on the walkway. Got a little zebra longwing coming along. The liriope right here brushes against my ankles every time I walk through, which isn't horrible, but you know. This snow square stem right here, I have to like shift around to get around it when I'm coming through. I can't just walk straight through. See here, let's put you right here on this side of me. See, this is what happens to me. So all of that, and then there's some, yeah, see this? Fire bush needs held back. So I'll let you know what I end up doing. Instead of chopping, I might see if I have some extra trellises to try and prop these up more so they're not like leaning out, because everybody leans toward the sun, which is a good thing for plants, but not my walkway. Okay, so then we open up a little bit more. Nice. But I've got the pine bark in here. Now, you know I always say pine bark makes everything better, but quite honestly, back up, I'm backing up. This is all dirt, and I garden barefoot, and I prefer the dirt over the pine bark. And this pine bark now looks all dried up and dry, and it's just not fun to walk on. Plus, my new little truck dolly doesn't drive well on it. And I showed you that a few videos ago that I bought to haul potting soil back and forth down my garden walkways where I need it. So I'm going to rake all this out. I'll just send it off to the side. Like it can go down there. You see my shadow? And I'm pointing. It can go down there. And then I can send some down here back to my little garden bench. I'm not sure if I'm gonna take it out of here. I probably will. I don't know yet. What I really love to do is to crush it and make it into a powder, and then I could walk on that. Pine bark dust, that's what I want. Does anybody make that? And so yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all this pine bark, but I don't like how dry it looks. I'd rather be walking on dirt. So something's going to happen there. And the next part of the walkway, we're getting down here. Oh, look, bags of potting soil with a dragonfly on it. Hello, beautiful. Back here by my garden chairs, there's a bunch of that sticky remnants of the seed pods from the beautiful bald cypress tree that the squirrels eat and throw down. And as a barefoot gardener, every time I walk through here, they get stuck on my feet and they stick like glue. So I want to get all that out of here. And then we'll come around here, and this little walkway right here needs a little work. And that's about it for the walkways. And the overgrown part, well, I just need to do a little maintenance work. Like here's some passiflora incense that's taken off through my nectar garden that I just need to trim back. You know, it's little things like that. I want to open up this walkway just by trimming some things back. Thank you, Ray, for demonstrating walking through there. And then I'll probably do a little trimming cleanup just to neaten things up a little bit. And that'll be that. Oh, this walkway here needs a little cleanup also. So when I have it all done, I'll do another walkthrough and just show you how different it looks. And here's a kind of up high look at it. And then my little combination of plants that I'm going to try is going to be in the raised bed that's right here beside me. And I think they'll make great companions. They'll grow well together, and they're both plants that butterflies love. Here is the before of what this planter looks like. We've been working on this over time, but just so you can see down in there, and then from the front. Okay, there we go. Let's get busy. Well, I'm going to get busy. All right, I'm going to show you where I've gotten to so far. So I've gone down to where the red trash can is. I work my way and push the trash can forward and fill it as I go. So you can see now the border grass on both sides is visible. All the overgrowth has been trimmed back. And I went all the way up to here. I trimmed back my tea bush. And you can see I really gave these snow square stems a chop. I'm not going to chop my fire bush because I just think it's beautiful. Even though it's taller than I'd like it to be, the butterflies just love it. And I don't want to cut any blooms off. I'll wait and trim it later in the season. But I did trim the branches that were sticking out, and I still have a couple more to do. So then I leveled off the tropical sage that's right here, and I went around the bend and cleaned this up. And while I was out here not too long ago, a Palomede swallowtail flew by. And I couldn't believe it. I haven't seen one of those in my garden in so long. So I'm going to go walk around and see if I can find it. And if I do, I'll let you know. And if I don't, well, I told you I saw it. I'm not sure how much farther down I'm going to go tonight. I might finish up soon because it's getting later in the day. I still have to do all that snow square stem there down to the fire bush. There's not much on the side that needs trimmed, but I do need to deadhead the starry rosin weeds. And I'm going to stake up my white indigo, which is completely leaning forward right here. See it? So I'm going to stake that up right now. So you'll see that when I come back and pop in next time for an update. Everyone, so it is day 2 of doing a major trim down of my garden to get rid of that overgrown feeling because it's got that overgrown feeling. And let me show you where I left off yesterday and what I'm thinking about doing today. So I pretty much made it all the way down To put my little sign back in to the walkway right here where the red trash can is. So I trimmed up some of the snow square stem back in there. I did deadhead the cut leaf cone flowers, and you can see there's new buds on them. So I just trimmed down to where they were. And today I think I want to work on raking out some of this pine bark. And my friend, the snow square stem, which quite honestly I think is even bigger than it was when I filmed it in my last video. It's incredible. But right now, this snow square stem is getting full sun, so I'm gonna wait till there's a little shade later and I'll come out and give it a trim. And at last, I am done. The whole garden is not done. There is still much that could be done, but the little tasks that I wanted to do, cleaning up the walkways and trimming some things down, oh, and my companion plant combination, which we'll get to, are all done. So let's go walk through the garden and I'll show you what I did. Okay, so I got this whole section of the walkway raked out. The pine bark used to start right about there, and I raked it out, and let me tell you, I think it looks visually more appealing with the pine bark, but on my feet, there's something about walking through the garden just on the dirt and not pine bark. And then here we come to my Florida native plant garden, and I got my little sign up, and I found some interesting things as I was in here moving things around, trimming things back. My little orange coneflower is still alive and well, and now it's getting sunshine. Maybe it'll do something. And my white beard tongue that didn't do anything this year, but it's there. So I don't know if it took a year off or it just needed to move over to the side, because it's a spring bloomer and it didn't come up, it didn't bloom this year. So maybe next year I'll get some blooms. I staked up my white indigo, and it looks so much better. And then I discovered this glorious thing, which was all laying down. It was all laying down in there. And so I got it standing up, and at first I thought it was starry rosinweed, but it's not. The leaves, like, they definitely have a fuzzy texture, but it's a feel-good fuzzy texture. And the stems are definitely fuzzy, but it's not like the rosinweed fuzzy. So I'm not sure who we are here. Maybe one of my, oh my gosh, Mr. Zoomies. He just went running by. I don't know if I caught him on camera, but that was cute. Okay. My native plant friends, if you have an idea of what this is, oh, here we go again. Hey, mister. This is Ringo. I would love to know what you think this is, because it's a really cool looking plant. I love the colors, how it's kind of purpley at the veins of the leaves. And hopefully it's going to bloom and do something. The ovate leaf plantain, you guys, this is some plant. It's like it goes up, but then it has parts that come out. Like there's one going out way out and over there. And it has some going out and off to the side on the other side too. And I think he just jumped over her. I love that they're wound up. I think this is the extent of the bloom. So let me show you. It starts out like with these little compact buds, and it looks like it's going to open up, but it really doesn't. And see how short they are? And then as it grows, they get longer, but they don't open. See, they're longer and longer, and then eventually they do this. They get to a certain length, and then they just get these little these. They get these little these. And I think that's all they do. But the plant itself is so interesting. Just its growth pattern. And pollinators are all over these, like little flying things. So I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I only have one. One is good because it's big. So I think that's all it does. And it gets very tall. And I did a little work opening up my little walkway I did with the stepping stones, but this elephant's foot is kind of growing right up in the middle of it. But you can still see the stepping stones, and I can step over and make my way through. And let me go on the other side. There's just so much in here that's really cool right now. This, oh gosh, is it blue curls? Might be blue curls. Look at the color of the leaves. They're like changing. It's really cool. This was sprawled like all over the place, and I kept picking it up and picking it up, and I kind of held it all together, and it kind of intertwined in itself and stuck to itself. And so now it's sort of contained. There's some Leavenworth coreopsis in there, but it's really, really pretty. I love the colors of it, and I just wanted to show that to you. And it has some potted plants in that this was like laying down on top of, and I pulled them out, and I found a few things. I was like, oh, I remember you. All right, here we are on the other side of the plantain. So here it is going up, but you can see, look at that branch going out and all the way back there. I love watching little zebra longwings flutter in and out through here. I see the zebra longwings and the Gulf fritillaries a lot. They just like flying through this area, even though there's not a lot blooming right now. So this is one of the things I found that I had in a pot, and it's huge. Look how big it is. It's not blooming or anything, so we'll just have to watch. My columbine was all buried in there. It does like shade, but I think I want to go ahead and put it in the ground. I found my little pawpaw reticulata that doesn't do anything. It still hasn't done anything. It's had that same amount of leaves since I got it. I know I filmed about this before. Hopefully you remember me talking about it. And I found this little one. Oh, I know who this is. This is the unknown aster. I remember I took it out and put it in its own pot. So that was fun coming across all of those once I stood up some of the things back in there and realized there's still some pots. I can see them back in under there. I'll have to go pull them out and see what's in them. All right, so no pine bark in this area now. There's my red trash can. And I raked what was there. I just stuck it in around the bend. I trimmed and flattened this. You want to see something gross? I'm going to show you something gross. So if you don't want to see it, like, cover your eyes and I'll let you know when I'm done, okay? Get ready, cover your eyes. This spider has grown significantly. And not only that, but he trapped and ate one of his own kind and just left the rest of it, like the legs and all that. He ate the abdomen. Is that not disgusting? Why is nature so cruel? Why do you think? I mean, it's insects in particular. Insects are violent little things. Look how big he is. And then, oh. So that's right at the top. You can see it from the side. Okay. All right. You can uncover your eyes now if you covered your eyes. So I leveled off this section, which I hope I don't regret it, because this is my nearly sunflower patch that hopefully will flower in October, but I keep trimming it back. I hope I don't, like, it doesn't set the buds and I cut them all off kind of thing. And then this was all pine bark and I raked it out. Now this is what I want. Do you see how there's like pine bark dust and just little bits? If I could just buy a bag of that instead of the big chunks. I wonder if you can put pine bark in a Ninja. Make pine bark powder. So anyway, I haven't done anything at all over here in the Pentas garden, but look at the lantana in the baskets. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's decided to bloom. And this, the pine bark that was here, I just raked it around the bend and piled it in there. And before I show you the snow square stem, there's a gorgeous zinnia here that must be seen. Look how beautiful. Okay. Are you ready to see the snow square stem? It is flattened. There it is right there. I just knit and then I got down the side. Now the zinnias are taller. And all these starry rosin weeds, remember, they're finally blooming yellow. Remember all the buds I kept saying, when these bloom, it's going to be spectacular. It's spectacular. Look at that. I cleaned up my little cobblestone walkway. Oh my. Like that whole pot. What happened? Something fell over. Let me go fix that. Oh, I bet Mr. Zoomies did this. I bet he did. It's a pot of zinnias. It's okay. For a second there, I was like, what happened? What is that? Look how pretty it is in here. Even though this section of the garden isn't like the big butterfly favorite because there's no Mexican sunflowers or red pentas in here, it's like my favorite. Oh, look, there's a thread-waisted wasp. Is that what it's called? Thread-waisted, yeah. They love it in this garden. They're like me. Thread-waisted. I'll never forget, Elizabeth, you talking about that. That was so funny. And look how pretty this little purple plum crazy bloom. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Look at that color. I love it. All right, so then I put this trellis piece in here because this poor little buttonwood sage, I think that's it, was like all fallen over into the walkway. And so I got it upright, and it's so pretty. It's little flowers. It's just pretty mixed in here with the, what is this stuff called? It's a sage too. Oh, look, there he is again. But it's so pretty in here with that sage. It's like a lavender sage. And all of the zinnias that are in here. I need to, this one's about ready to be cut back. Every time I'm like, but I want to keep it. But I also have to know that as soon as I cut that back, then these two right here will be ready to take off. So look how pretty those leaves are. I mean, even in its fading moments, the shades of pink are so pretty. So now this walkway here looks so much better now that the snow square stem is trimmed and the things that were leaning out in are being held up by a trellis. I love using trellises for that purpose in my garden. I have them everywhere, and I think they just make such a difference, making your garden look a little bit more tame when it wants to be wild and woolly. Okay, now this plant I'm about to show you, I've shown you over and over again, and I'm sorry, but it is spectacular. And it's spreading out. It keeps getting bigger, and it's the sky flower. Look at this. It's all sprawling, like down here. And then we go up into the pot. It's going over to the side. It's bunching up at the back. I mean, it's gorgeous. I love this plant. One of my most favorite buys this year, or new additions. Well, it was a buy and a new addition. I love it. Okay, so I think that's all for the trimming and the widening and cleaning up. Now, the plant companion combination. They're two that I've had in my garden for a while. And they're two that are kind of together in this very garden right here behind me, but they're not together. Let me show you what I mean. This starry rosinweed, they've all got their heads turned away from me because they're shy, has a really nice, dense, leafy base of its plant. It's very sturdy. It's tall. It stands up by itself. It doesn't tend to fall over. Sometimes I'll find them falling over if it's a thinner stem, but they're very, very, very well designed and can be out on their own. They don't need to lean on anyone. And they have a decent looking base, very full and filled in. And then we have my favorite zinnias. They're gorgeous, gorgeous. I love them, but the bottoms of them are pretty, not pretty. They're pretty, not pretty. They're kind of ugly. And they all twist and wind all over the place. The leaves turn brown. Look at that. And guess what? They need a little help from a trellis to stand up. So what if we put these guys in front of some of these guys? So then these guys can lean on these guys, and these guys can use their pretty bottom and full leaves to disguise the ugliness of these guys. And at the top, you'll see these flowers. And I don't know where anybody reach. Oh, reach, reach. Look, I got them to reach over. They'll be together. Is that not beautiful? Is that not beautiful? So that's what I'm doing in my raised garden bed. Let me show you. This is the raised garden bed I'm talking about. And right up front here are 2 starry rosin weeds that I picked up at the nectary. And I'm hoping they'll grow and fill out their full leafy bases and provide support for the very tall zinnias that are growing up behind them. Right now, the zinnias are being held with a little trellis. I think that'll be so pretty when the flowers all intertwine with each other. And there are buds on these starry rosin weeds. So I think it's going to be fabulous. Now, I didn't plant them on down over there. I have a few Mexican sunflowers in there. And there is a snow square stem right in front and beside. Both of those can be very supportive also for plants to lean on. But if it works out, because there's some other things planted in the front of the bed here, but I could probably squeeze in another starry rosin weed down at the other end to help hold up the Mexican sunflower. I only bought 2 though. So I wanted to put them right here in front of this zinnia patch because it's right on the corner where you see it and you can really see the bottom of the zinnias. And now hopefully the starry rosin weed will help mask some of that. See over here we've got, there's a red pentas and a snow square stem that kind of camouflage to the lower part. And then there comes the zinnias. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. I love them. I hope y'all enjoyed spending some time in my garden with me, and I hope something about everything I did inspired you, either finding a plant that seemed interesting or inspiring you to go out and trim down some things in your garden. Open up your walkways, make it traversable again and not overgrown and overwhelming. And I'm excited to see how that plant combination does. I think they'll make great companions. Zinnias are annual, starry rosin weed does go dormant, but the basil leaves stay green. It's just the flowers. Am I right on that? Do they go dormant? They go dormant. I think they go dormant. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. And now you're about to see some beautiful butterflies and happy music. All of the butterflies that you're about to see were filmed in my garden yesterday and today. That's it, yesterday and today. So, of course, there's been more butterflies than what you're going to see, but these are the ones I happened to be camera ready for, and I wasn't in the middle of doing something else when I spotted them, and they decided to stick around and let me film them. So all of those magical things have to come together to get them on camera. So I hope you enjoy this. Please tap the like button and subscribe to my channel. If you have friends you think will enjoy this channel, share it with them and join the Milkweed crew. All right, bye.